Hello again. So, recently someone asked me how you can use the TX-HMI to become a data logging device. So I'm going to record this series of 5 videos to slowly bring you through the different aspects of programming a TX-HMI from scratch using Codesys. Okay, so without further ado, this will be actually my agenda. Okay, so the 5 part will consist of part 1 will teach you how to collect and display Modbus data using Codesys, and after that we will move on to using frames to make templates so that you can program faster. And we'll on the third part we will explore how to use the trending graphs on in Codesys, as well as how to get data from real-time clock so that you can put it into your data log. And lastly, to save the data into a CSV file. Okay, so with me here, I have actually my hardware consists of basically TX-HMI device. Okay, so this is a edge gateway with the option of having a display or option of having no display. Okay, as a purely a gateway, and this will be my main computational unit acting as the PLC to decode the Modbus data. And of course the data is coming from, there's a serial port over here. Will be connected to a T-joint that is attached to my vibration sensor from Banner. Okay, so we'll want to log the data and display into a trend graphs and save to a CSV. Okay, but slowly. So firstly, let's go back to the code. Okay, wait, where's my here. Okay, yes, this is a bigger screen. Okay, so now firstly start your project, create a project. Okay, choose your correct HMI device, YouTube. Let's see, demo 1. Okay, choose your hardware. So in this case I'm using a TX 070. Okay, so make sure you choose the correct model that you are using, as well as so that you can load properly. Oh, and for those who are interested, if you do not like to use structured text, you can change your main program to other types over here. Okay, so click OK. Okay, I'm gonna pause the video and never mind, it's finishing. Okay, just wait for it to build. Okay, I'm gonna pause the video until it's done. Okay, so if any of you see a pop-up, usually you have to click yes, otherwise nothing will happen. Okay, so when there is no more messages here, you should be done. Okay, so what you can see over here is your organizer, how you organize the software and the hardware and the software portions of the project. Okay, so in this case we're gonna double click onto the device. Okay, and you can scan for the device. Okay, yes. And if you are successful in scanning the device, it should appear over here. It should be okay. Okay, yes. Okay, so for those of you who accidentally clicked the wrong device, don't worry. You can always change the device by going over here, press update device over. Okay, and choose from here again. Okay, or if you have a slightly different device running a different version of Codesys, you can change over here as well. Display all and change the correct one. Okay, so this is a very useful function, especially when you want to port the code to different devices with different model. So just click scan again. and that's all. Okay, so if the green circle come up, means your connection is okay. So now firstly I need to tell my PLC to look out for Modbus port. Okay, so I'm using my serial port as a Modbus port, and then after that you need to configure it to be like my PLC is going to be the master. Okay, and this master is supposed to expect slaves. Okay, yeah, if you have more slave you can add over here, yeah, and configure from there. Okay, but for now we don't need this. So on your hardware you still need to do additional configuration. Okay, okay, so double click on your Modbus, the first port. This is where you can configure the baud rate of your serial port. So for my sensor, the default configuration is 192.0.0 non-parity, data bit 8, stop bit 1. Okay, and if generally if you're using a TX HMI, the first serial port, the built-in serial port starts from COM port 1, and it increases if you add additional COM port modules. Okay, so over here, go to the master. This is something I always like to do, is to trigger this option where you will restart the communication if there's any breakdown. Okay, so let's just say if I unplug the sensor and I plug it back, yeah, it will attempt to re-establish. Okay, so lastly, go to the slave, and you should be able to see the configuration for the slave ID over here. Okay, you can change the slave ID, as well as the response timeout is the amount of time it will wait for the response, for the Modbus response to come back. Okay, if you're using wireless system, yeah, the response might take a while to come back, so this number might need to be increased, maybe to 3 or 4 seconds. Okay, so now with me, I need to extract the Modbus data from my PLC, okay, from my vibration sensor. Okay, let me bring up the data sheet for the sensor. Okay, so this is the vibration sensor that I'm using, and I will be attempting to read the Modbus address for the maybe the first 6 registers. Okay, yeah, so yeah, okay, actually, yeah, so let's go over here, and can see that I can set, this is where you set the different register type that you want to read. You holding register, input register, or writing. Okay, you can set my cyclic, how often I read the data, and here I set what is the address that I'm looking for. So over here I need to read 5201. Okay, and I'll read 6 of them. So 5201, I need to read 6 of them. Okay, okay, so if you're successfully created, you should see a array over here. If you bring it down, you can get more quick data. So just to call out the data. Okay, and then I will instantiate it here as well. Okay, so now, and one last thing you need to configure is that you need to click the portion, and you need to go to the interface parameter. So the TX HMI, it allows you to use the COM port as with different physical layer, okay, physical channel. So I asked RS232, 485, or RS422. So you need to configure over here, otherwise otherwise it will not work. Okay, so I'm using 485, and then I will load it in. Okay, so if I run the program, okay, you should see that there are green circles everywhere, which means the communication has no problems. Yeah, if you see a red circle, it means that your data has problem. Okay, so now you can see this is my vibration data, and it seems a bit okay. So if I look at my data sheet, I'm looking. Okay, wait, sorry. Okay, you'll notice that, okay, I'm supposed to expect my temperature in degrees Celsius on the third register, but unfortunately, sorry, yeah, so I'm supposed to expect it on my fourth register, okay, but now it's appearing on my third register. This is my degree Celsius, okay, third degree. Just to further verify, I'm going to shake the sensor, and you realize that the data only increased on the top part. So you can see there is a slight offset in the address value. So just as a reminder, if you're using banner sensors, yeah, or maybe some other sensors in general, okay, for the addressing, because some sensors manufacturer likes to start their addressing from 1, but for Codesys, your addressing will always start from 0. Okay, so to make sure they match, you need to -1, okay, from the value. So 5200 instead of 5201. Okay, okay, so now if I load the data, okay, if I load the data, you should be able, and I run, okay, I should be able to see the data over here. So my temperature is on the fourth register as according to the table over here. Okay, so so from here on, okay, this is you manage to extract the Modbus data. So now how do you use your Modbus data to do specific calculation? Okay, so now I'm gonna show you. Okay, let's just say that, okay, so you can actually get the data out. Okay, you can declare your value over here. So let's just say this is my z-axis velocity. Okay, okay, not very nice. Okay, I want my z-axis. This is your variable area where you program the data over here. Okay, so you declare your variables here, and then you do your logic code over here. Okay, so I have a z-axis velocity, and I also want my y-axis velocity. So my x-axis velocity. Okay, and I want my temperature. Okay, so and take note, okay, so for word data, I can link them up over here, and I just say that because where will my data be? My x-axis velocity. So if you notice, my data actually is configured in an array and starting from 0. So this is my register. Okay, so this will be the data will be stored in sensor in index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I want the data from here, here, and here. Okay, same here, here, and here. Okay, so to access the correct data, I will need to and then over here I'll expect the data to be from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5. And for my temperature, okay. Oh, and take note, to set the equal, you need to have a colon equal and before you declare the value that you want to set it to. Okay, so I need to read the data from index 3. Okay, so now save. Okay, and to make things faster, you can either log in with online change or log in with download. Yeah, do take note that, yeah, as much as possible, try to use the downloads, because it's a more complete, makes a more complete change. Some changes do not upload very nice well if it's just an online change. Okay, so now you can see. Okay, let me increase the font size. You should be able to see that. Okay, so my temperature is in these values as well, and if I shake it, yeah, it will increase. Okay, so but getting this data is this is the raw data coming from the sensor. It's not particularly useful for our purposes, because if you look at the sensor data, okay, especially for example my sensors, okay, the sensor is represented as a number from 0 to 65535, but the actual value is actually coming from, it's actually between 0 to 65.535. okay, so there is a scaling of about 1000. You need to divide the value by 1000. And take note, for those who are familiar with programming, if you want to use decimal numbers, okay, you cannot use a integer, okay, or a word, okay, because so you need to change the data type to real. Okay, okay, so for those familiar programming, yeah, your floating point variables, right, or tags are called real in Codesys. Okay, so now I will need to divide by 1000, and for temperature is actually divide by 100. Okay, so let's just see what happens over here. Okay, see, because this is a very big change, you will do a whole download again, and can see that from the value it's actually 0. There seems to be some problem calculating it. There is no decimal over here even though it's a float. That is because you need to do your typecasting, changing the data type first. So in Codesys, changing data type is very easy, because you just need to declare this is a word, you want to convert it to real, okay, and packet up the data you want to change it from. Okay, so just as a reminder, the reason why I'm using word is because if you go back to the Modbus sleeve, all of the data that is declared over here is using word. Okay, so if you're using a different maybe hardware with a different module attached here, you can check what is the data type you're supposed to use. Okay, so now, oh sorry, I keep doing that. Okay, so if you log in, so as you can see, now my decimal is coming out, and if I shake my sensor, ooh, yeah, gather value is changing also. Okay, so this is just a simple demonstration. So now I'll use magic to automatically fill up the rest of the sensor data. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now, okay, I have filled it up with the rest of my register data, and I've also updated it to read 22 registers instead of just 6. Okay, so this is all the data in my vibration sensor. Okay, so now you have your data. How do I display it into a visualization? Okay, this is very simple. So firstly, okay, choose the visualization that you want to visualize to. Okay, and then you can simply pull a rectangle inside, and you can type in the value of the data. Let's just say temperature. Okay, this is the meaning of my data, and I can put percentage 1, maybe percentage 3.2 F. Okay, so okay, let me zoom in this. Okay, so you can see that I added a percentage over here. So this is what we call this percentage symbol allows you to dynamically import the data from your main program into the visualization. So you replace the value you declare, this modifier you declare over here will be replaced by the tag that you link it to. Okay, so you can go over here, you can write down, change the variable. Okay, let's just say that I want my temperature in degrees Celsius. Okay, so and over here, this is your properties bar. It also allows you to do other configurations, such as if you think that the word is too small, you can also go to the text property. Maybe you can change the font to something bigger. Okay, headline. If you click it, then there will be a change. Or if you want something in between with your usual number, you can also change over here. Okay. Oh, it's just nice the same size. Okay, let's just say that okay, so from here you can also remove, like if you don't like this border, you can also change the animal look to visible, or maybe make it invisible, and yes, here you go, looks better. So now let me zoom out. Okay, so if I log in, one more thing to check is make sure in the visualization manager you can choose the first visualization to be shown on the screen itself. Okay, and then okay, we will log in. Okay, so if I run, you should be able to see the visualization. This is my temperature data. And one more thing I want to show you. Let's just say, okay, let's see the camera. I think you should be able to see the camera. Okay, my camera is blocking this thing. Okay, easily change this, and also maybe I can do the same with the vibration. Okay, and then and I'm gonna remove this additional number. Okay, just to show you what's the difference between why I use this 3.2. Okay, so can go over here. Let's add the maybe x-axis, z-axis lah. Okay, and then and also another thing, besides using target visual, you can also add in a web visual. Okay, so I'll explain this in a moment after I download this in. Okay, so now the target visual actually represents the HMI screen on the, if you have a HMI screen on your device itself, it is the actual screen available on the hardware. Okay, the direct library on the hardware. Okay, and okay, let me run and you should be able to see it. Oh no, a bit embarrassing. Wait let me reset the code. Okay, if I run, give me a moment. Hi, sorry, there was a slight bug on the Codesys, so I had to restart the hardware. Okay, so now you can see from my, okay, so as I mentioned, target visual is actually the onboard screen of your device itself. Okay, so now the web visual I just added is actually a web interface that mimics the target screen of the device, and you can easily access this by going into by typing the IP address of the device with a :8085. Okay, enter, and you can see the same screen as the HMI itself. Okay, so now yeah, so this is a very powerful function, so where as long as you are on the same network as the PLC, you're able to access the HMI from the comfort of your control room. Okay, so now one last thing I want to show you is actually to, let's just say if you just want to do a boolean, you want to play with some boolean numbers, like for example I have a switch. Okay, you can actually add a switch, okay, add a switch and other elements as well as a lamp element on the main visualization as well, to have more interactivity. So in our case, okay, so, and you can tie it to a specific variable. So I'm gonna create two variables, one for switch, one for lamp, and declare them. Okay, so you can see that I can add the, instead of listing it out one by one in the line, okay, I can actually use a comma and declare another variable, so this to save space. Okay, so let's just say that I'm going to tie this variable to the switch tag, and then I can link this up to the lamp tag. Okay, and and let me add some code in between, where the output of lamp will be equals to the state of the switch. Okay, so once I'm done, let me log in, and you should be able to see that the code should run very smoothly. And see, you can see the lamp in my HMI. There's also a lamp also. If I touch, okay, so this is just a simple demo. We have successfully collected the data from Modbus, the Modbus slave, and display it into a simple visualization. Okay, so that's all for this video.